Good evening and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I post trade ideas for the week and daily updates for my trade ideas that I post for the week, day by day, step by step guide on the stocks that I'm trading. Um, Before I start, guys, I'd like to say subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Twitter page. This helps me keep going, keep posting this content for you guys. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, share the content, like the content, comments, leave your thoughts below the videos and the Twitter posts. Also follow me on my TikTok. But I post the weekly trade ideas as well. This helps me keep going, guys. Please follow me on my Twitter page and YouTube and TikTok as well. So let's get started, guys. I have a bunch of trade ideas for the upcoming week from 6:10 to 6:14, June 10 to June14. Let's start off with the economic events coming up in this week. So we have a lot of important economic events coming up this week. Starting on Wednesday, we have CPI, core CPI, and it is followed by FOMC at 2 o'clock. At 8:30 we have CPI, and at 2 o'clock we have FOMC. Major economic events right here, market movers. Following that, on Thursday we have initial jobless claims and core PPI, also major economic event right here. And on Friday we have consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. That's another important one that I'm watching. So guys, a lot of economic events coming up. Market reacts strongly to these events. Numbers coming out this week, and the FOMC especially. So Monday might be a muted day in the market. We have some important events coming up on Monday as well. We have NVDA event, we have Apple event, we have NVDA split occurring. So a lot of opportunities this week coming up. So let's get started on our another thing that I want to mention is the earnings that are coming up. On the earnings, we have couple of earnings that I'll be watching. I'll be watching the Oracle earnings on Tuesday after close, then followed by Broadcom on Wednesday after close. So Broadcom could be a major market mover in the semi sector, as this stock has been making all-time highs along with the other semis. So this could set the trend for this upcoming week as well. Other than that, there's not much going on in the earnings section. Just these couple of stocks that I'm watching for the earnings. So let's get started with the charts. So let's start off with the SPY chart. So on the SPY chart, I posted on my Twitter with the all the details. SPY is below the 534 resistance. So 534 is a big resistance right now on the 8-hour chart too. As you can see, this is a big resistance level. It was a support, but it broke and closed below that 534 level. So the levels that I'll be watching going forward this week is the 531 level as a support, and then below that we could see 528, 525, depending on how the market reacts to the data in the coming week. But if it does not hold the 531 level, then it could move down to 528 and 525 pretty quickly. We are also showing a lot of bearish divergence building up on this chart on bigger time frames. If it does break and close above the 534, then 538, 540 is back in play. As I had mentioned, my all-time high target right here from here on is 543 into the summer. If market reacts positively, that is the target that I have for the week. Below that, the target for the week is 525 and 518 as well. But I don't think it's gonna go 520, 518. I think 531 and 528 will prove a big support in the coming week, and the market could move higher, back above 534. But as you could also see the bearish divergence building up, so that could drop the market depending on the news that comes out and the data that comes out in the week. But these are the levels. The 531 would be a big support, and after that 528 will be a big support. Below that is 518, 520, 518. That's what I'm seeing. Next up we have QQQ. So QQQ is relatively stronger than SPY. The support on QQQ I'm watching right now is 461.50. Below 461, it could drop to 455 pretty quickly. If it does hold and close above 461, it could move back to 464 and 468. My last week target was 468. However, it ended up going close to 465, but did not go to 468. With the market weakness on Thursday and Friday, did not move much because I had mentioned, whenever the meme stocks are moving, nobody's actually paying attention to other stocks. It's all the hype is around the meme stocks. So GameStop was big mover on Thursday and Friday with the Roaring Kitty stream. So not much action in SPY and QQQ. But the levels here is 461 as a support level. 464 as a resistance level right here. Above 464.25 we could see 468 and 470. Below 461 we could see 455 and 453, 449. Those are the levels. I have shared these charts along with the detailed analysis on my Twitter page, so please make sure you follow me on my Twitter. Next up we have Snap. I shared this trade idea on Twitter. Snap has a bull flag on the daily chart, strong on Friday, as you can see, relative strength, broke out at this base between 15 and 1550, goes above 1550. I will be entering calls on this name with targets above 1676 and eventually 1751 on Snap. Snap is a big mover. It could move 5-10% in a day when it starts moving, so keep an eye on this, guys. I'll be posting my updates on this on my Twitter page as well as daily update on YouTube as well going forward in this week. Target here is of course 1751. If the market is strong, it could reach that target in 2 to 3 days. If not, then it could take few days. But very strong price action right here, very clear bull flag forming right inside on this range, on this yearly range. My final target is 1751. We'll be entering calls on the break and close of this trend line. Support in this stock is right now at 1539. Below 1539, it could move down to the lower end of this trend line at 14. Next up, we have Shopify. So I have been posting about Shopify as well as on my Twitter as well as on my YouTube channel about potential bottom forming up right here. So it's been ever since I posted it, moved 3 points from my 58 level. Relative strength in the market, as you can see, straight up from that hammer candle. So the levels in this week I'm watching is, my first resistance is 62, but if it does close above 62, next level up is 63 and 64. So Shop could move pretty fast as well. This upcoming week we have a lot of data that impacts small caps a lot, rate sensitive data, so small caps could move a lot this coming week. And this is one stock that I'll be watching in small caps for a move higher. If it does close above 64.20, then it does have a gap all the way up to 75. That is a huge gap, a whole 11-point gap right here, and it could fill this gap in the coming days. But it has to close above 64.20 for that gap. Resistance level on this stock is 62, 63, 36, 64.20, and support right now is 60.64. So 60 level is the support, 60.64 is the support. 921 EMA is crossing as well on the daily chart. Next up, as far as the EMA is at 66. That's where the 50-day moving average is. So keep a close eye on this chart, guys. Next up, we have Apple. So about the Apple chart, I have been posting every day about Apple with the daily updates, level to level trade on this. My target is 199, an all-time high on Apple stock. A lot of relative strength in Apple. Apple also have an event tomorrow, so this could move the market. Pretty spot on with my analysis if you've been following this trade with me on my Twitter page and YouTube. I had mentioned if it does close above 196.43, it could move to 199. So this coming week, my support is 196 and my target is 199 and 200 on this all-time high. It could move these 3 points pretty fast. Maybe tomorrow, maybe on FOMC. If it doesn't move tomorrow, it will be on FOMC. I'll be watching this one very close. My calls are up 73% on this. The 200 swing call that I had posted a week ago on Twitter as a trade idea for 614 expiration is currently up 74%, guys. So congrats if you made some money on it. There's a lot more to come here. Pretty strong market price action on this. So 196, 194 is the support area. And the target right now is 199. Next up we have Hood, another one that I've been very spot on this. If you've been watching my Twitter and YouTube videos, I had mentioned about buying the dip at the trendline support, and that paid big from 2050 level all the way up to 23 level. 23 was my target in it, so it hit 23 and more and rejected hard from that level. Right now the support is at 22. Below 22 it could move back down to 2050 level. If it moves back to 2050 level, then that's another dip buying opportunity for another try back to 23. Hood has been very strong, relatively strong. I've actually liked Hood stock since the beginning. I've liked Robinhood app as well. I don't know, but I don't care what people think. It's very user friendly. A lot of new retail traders came into the game because of the Robinhood app, and it's been improvement. Like a lot of new features in Hood app, with wallets and good interest rates on savings accounts and things like that. So pretty good stock to own in my opinion. Right now 23 rejected. So first support is 22. If it bounces from 22, it can try for 23 again. If it does not, if it falls below 2202, then look for 21 and 2050. 2050 would be the dip buying opportunity in Hood stock. Next up we have AMD. So still in range, but however it did break out of this trend line that I had posted on my Twitter account as well as on my YouTube account as well. I think AMD should start moving this week. It's potentially ready. My trade idea is 170 call above 168 in the coming week with my target of 170, 172 on it. If it closes above 172 on the daily chart or on the weekly chart, that's very bullish. It could move to 180 right above 172 level. So keep an eye on this, guys. It's been holding all EMAs. As you can see, 21 EMA crossing the 50 EMA on the daily chart with clear trend up, and the breakout of this trend line right here is still in range. It could trade sideways, but I'll be entering a swing on this on 168 break for 170, 172, and if it does close the week above 172 or daily close above 172, it could move to 180 pretty fast, because it's been trading in sideways for a lot of days. So another one to keep an eye on this week. Next one we have Meta. So 5x trade in Meta that I posted last week. My 480 calls went all the way up to 22 from 400. So great trade if you took that idea. For now on Meta, 494.95 is a huge resistance level on Meta. If it does close above 495.96 level, then we could look for another try of 505, 510, and eventually all-time high. Meta could start moving pretty soon with the rotation happening from other chip stocks. This could start moving. For now, the support on this stock is 486. If it does go to 486, then it could see a bounce. Main thing right here is the trend line. I've drawn this trend line. As long as it remains below this trend line, no calls on this one. If it does manage to break and close above the trend line, then yeah, we can try another 500, 510 level calls on this. But I'll be watching this trend line. First support is 486. Next support is at 481. It does have a small gap here from 478 to 484. It could fill this week if it stays below this trend line. Then the final support will be at the 480 level, which is where this trend line was as well. So that is what I'll be watching on this stock. Another thing to watch here is the 921 EMA rising, 50 EMA falling, so it could cross over this week. If it does close above 494 level, 595 level this week, then it could move back to 500, 510 level. Next up we have MicroStrategy. So I had posted about this on the watch for a breakout of this cup and handle, as well as the trend line, but as you can see, failed breakout. So failed breakouts result in an opposite move, rapid opposite move, and that is what happened here. If the stock is, if the stock fails to break out from a certain pattern, it could move opposite pretty fast, and that is what's happening with the micro strategy. Rejected the 1717 level I had posted last week and moved below and closed below the 9 EMA on the daily chart. Right now the supports are 1562. If it closes below 1562, it could move all the way down to 1440 level and 50 EMA on the daily chart. Depending on how Bitcoin does this week with the economic news, this could try again. As long as if the stock holds the 1560 level and does not close below on the daily chart, then we could try another one for the trend line and 1700 level break. But it has to close above the 1700 level in order to move higher to 1800. As long as it's under 1700, there's no breakout on this. It's a clear cup and handle, and my main level right here is the 1698 1700 level. 1717 was a resistance, and it did exactly that to the cent. Actually, it rejected from that level and moved down. Overall, no trade for me in this, but I'm biased to the downside because of the failed breakout. But depending on the economic news coming out this week, we'll see how this does. Next up, we have IWM chart. So IWM could move a lot this week. Like I mentioned, small caps could have a lot of moves this week with the economic event, CPI, PPI, and the FOMC. I believe the IWM has a dip buying opportunity here with a lot of confluence. We have trend line, we have gap, as well as we have the 200 cycle level. I will be buying the dip in this when it fills this gap at 200. It could also bounce tomorrow, but if it does bounce and that shows no sign of going down, I'll be buying the dip on it. Even though it's below 50 EMA on the daily chart with declining EMAs, I believe there's a lot of confluence. I'll swing a small position and see how it does, but a lot of confluence in this area for buying the dip, as well as this inverse head and shoulder forming on the daily chart. That will be the right side for right shoulder support. 199 200 is the area to buy the dip on it. So keep an eye on this chart as well. I'll be posting this update on Twitter. If I take any trades, I'll be posting that as well, so please make sure you follow me on my Twitter page. Next up, we have CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike, news came out on this that this will be included in the S&P 500, and that moved the stock back to all-time highs. Not actually all-time highs, because all-time high on this stock was 378. So it did not hit 378. It hit 375 on Friday. I'll be watching this stock as well next week. Right now, these are my levels that I'll be watching: 367, 363, 378, and 393. So the plan is, if the stock opens above 367 and holds the 367 level, it can move to 378. If the stock opens above 367 and falls below 367 in the first 15 minutes, it could fill the gap all the way down to 350 level. Another support below 367 is the 363 level. It could, if it falls below the 363 level in the first 15 minutes, that is when I'll be looking for ports to 350 level, and it could move. It could fill the gap all the way down to 350-45 level. If it holds the 367, 363 level, upside targets are 378, and another all-time high target is 393 in the coming days. A few days ago, I took a trade in CrowdStrike on earnings for a 340 call expiration. Stock moved about 10-12%, and my option did not move. The IV killed it. I wish I had held on to that option. It'd be 40 points in the money by now. But we live and we learn. Another day, another opportunity. So these are the levels that I'm watching in CrowdStrike. 363 is a big support. Below 363 is a gap fill. Above 367 is 378. Next up, we have last chart, NVDA. So split coming up on Monday. Post split, based on the closing price on Friday, post split it should trade at 120.79 cents or 0.80 cents. 120.80 cents. So I believe this could start to move down here pretty fast. Post splits, because a lot of people are gonna take profits. But it could also move another way depending on the event coming out tomorrow on NVIDIA stock. I am leaning bearish on NVIDIA. I think in the coming days, if it's gonna be $120 starting tomorrow, I think in the coming days NVIDIA will drop down to 100 level, and 100 is where the entry will be. From the 100 point, it is going to see a huge bounce from 100 level. So right now I'm not looking at any trade unless it's on the downside. So my supports here are 1183. I'll be looking for ports below 1183. Post splits, it's 118 level. So from 118 level down to 116 level, that's what I'll be looking at as my first target for the puts on this name. But that depends on the on how the price action is. But as far as the technical analysis, below 183 level, I'll be looking at 1183 level. I'll be looking at 1160 and then 1120 on this. It has a lot of gaps to fill on the daily charts. A lot of gaps. If it falls below the 9 EMA, then eventually it's gonna go down to 100 level post split. So that is going to be 1,000 level, 1,064, and below 1,018 it has a lot of gaps. I think in the coming days maybe NVIDIA will fill all these gaps, maybe not. It's been the strongest stock in the market, so a lot of bullish bets still post split on NVIDIA, but overall I'm leaning bearish on this name. A lot of weak action on Thursday on NVIDIA with 70-point move down on the day, so that's weakness right there. Also you can see rising selling volume in NVIDIA stock, as well as the bearish divergence. So a couple of things telling me it's going back down. It could also come back and test this trend line as well. So we'll trade, and I'll keep you guys updated on daily trade analysis on this stock. That's all I have for the week. If you guys have any chart requests, please DM me on my Twitter. I'll be happy to chart for you. Take care and trade carefully, trade light, don't go all in. A lot of things coming up this week, so trade carefully. Money saved is money made, guys. Have a good weekend, and see you guys tomorrow.